Welcome to this week's edition of Fun Activities in 5, where we are looking at an activity that I do in my classroom and sharing it with you. It may be old, it may be new, but hopefully it gives you something that you can try this week or that you can come back to. This week we are going to be talking about peer-to-peer interviews. Peer-to-peer interviews is something that I observed in a great way in a fellow teacher's classroom. It's probably been 3, maybe 4 years ago now, another teacher in my district. And the way that she was doing it in the room made me realize that students are capable of doing this. Students enjoy doing this. It's basically getting them to talk about themselves, and it's lowering the affective filter because they're not having to talk to me, they're talking to each other. Now, this does take a lot of trust and community in your classroom, and for students to feel safe and for students to feel supported and to have that confidence for this activity to go well. So I would definitely recommend doing some scaffolding into it and not just jumping into it, even if you have a lower level or an upper level classroom, just to set the groundwork. So the way that I do student interviews or peer-to-peer interviews in my classroom is I do them as the final day of a password cycle. And I do a password cycle about once every 3 weeks or so, where students get a question, and throughout the week we do PQA with it, we do listening practice with it, we do personalized question and answer on paper, aka writing with it. We have students do reading gallery walks with it. We do all the things. So they've basically gotten hundreds of reps with the words that they're using for these interviews, and they are feeling very comfortable with the vocabulary they're using for the answers to these questions. I do mix up my questions throughout the week, so I might ask, what do you like to do one day and what's your favorite activity the next day? So they're not hearing the exact same language, so that we're able to practice context and content, not memorizing questions and answers. So by the end of the week, I'm mixing all of those together and I give them to students to be able to go over with each other. Now, by this point, students, like I said, are very familiar. It's not a gotcha moment. It is a, with your friend, we're going to verbally practice, everyone is going to verbally practice this information. Throughout the week, I would say 80 to 90% of students have voluntarily practiced verbally with me or have been an example for me, but this is, everyone is intentionally verbally speaking. The questions are always very related to each other. So it might be like, what do you like to do? When do you like to do it? Who do you like to do it with? What kind of activity do you like to do? Is it academic or artistic or athletic? Why do you like this activity? For example, that's what we're doing this week in class. And I give students a paper. The paper can look a lot of different ways, but here is one example of what that paper could look like. And students basically go, they interview, they don't go back and forth. It's not a conversation, it's an interview. So student A is going to ask student B, what do you like to do? Oh, I like to run. Oh, you like to run. That's great. Do you run before school or after school? I run after school. Oh, me too. I love to run after school. They can provide commentary or comments or responses, but it is not a, what do you like to do? I like to run. What do you like to do? I like to sing. No, it is an interview, not a conversation. As students are talking to their partner, the person that is asking the questions is also writing on their note catcher. They're checking off things like, is the student using complete sentences? Are they actually answering the question? Did they use the vocab that we've worked this week to be able to answer the question, or vocab that just makes sense to answer the question? Are they speaking in Spanish? Are they using whatever the bonus rule is for that round? I usually do 4 or so rounds of the interviews in a class period. Each round I give students a bonus round goal. The goal might be use an adjective or answer with a different answer than you've used all week, or speak in a connected sentence using a transition word. The bonus round is really just to challenge students that are a little more advanced and to have students reaching instead of settling. Then students are switching roles, and once they have switched roles and you've gone through that, then they are changing. I do time the rounds, somewhere around 2 minutes at first or 90 seconds. I lessen it by about 15 seconds each time because the more students do it, the faster they get at it. They don't need a lot of downtime. This is a preppy-ish activity in the sense that you do have to have questions. You do need something for students to write on and write down, but it's not a super high prep activity. Activities like this are available in all of my password units, except for the first one. I think it doesn't have it, but everything else does. And you can purchase the whole password unit and do the whole cycle if you've never done anything like this, just to see how it works. Or you can just jump straight into it and make a sheet, a note catcher sheet, whatever yours may look like, to be able to give students some accountability during their interview time. Thank you so much for joining me this week. If you have used this, I would love to hear how it goes. If you haven't, I hope you have something that you can try this week, and we will see you next time.